It is a parent's worst nightmare. You are in your own home, your child is just feet away, playing in the basement. You turn your back for a moment, a fraction of a second in the grand scheme of a lifetime. And when you look back, they are gone. This isn't a scene from a horror movie. This is exactly what happened on the evening of June 15th, 2021, in the rural Beach Creek community of Rogersville, Tennessee. 5-year-old Summer Moon Utah Wells walked down the stairs of her family home to play with her toys. She never walked back up. What followed was one of the most massive, desperate, and ultimately baffling search operations in American history. Over 1,100 searchers, drones, helicopters, and specialized canine units scoured more than 3,000 acres of unforgiving Appalachian terrain. They looked under every rock, they dragged every creek, they searched every abandoned structure. And what did they find? Nothing. Not a single piece of clothing, not a shoe, not a strand of hair. It was as if the earth had simply opened up and swallowed a 5-year-old girl whole. Welcome to the Injustice Archive. Today we are opening the file on the disappearance of Summer Wells, a case that, even now in 2026, continues to haunt investigators and tear a community apart. To understand the sheer impossibility of this case, we have to look at the timeline. The Wells family lived on Ben Hill Road, a steep, winding path surrounded by dense woods. It's the kind of place where everyone knows their neighbors, and strangers stick out like a sore thumb. According to Summer's mother, Candace Bly, the day had been relatively normal. Candace, Summer, and Candace's mother had been out planting flowers. Around 6:30 p.m., they returned to the house. Candace stated that Summer wanted to go down to the basement to play with her toys. Candace agreed, watching her walk down the stairs. Minutes later, Candace asked Summer's older brothers to go down and check on her. The boys returned with chilling news. Summer wasn't there. Candace rushed down to the basement. The toys were there. The basement door, which led outside, was unlocked. But Summer was gone. Candace immediately began searching the immediate area, calling out for her daughter. When she couldn't find her, she called Summer's father, Don Wells, who was at work. Don rushed home, and soon after, the authorities were called. The initial response was swift. Neighbors, family members, and local law enforcement descended on Ben Hill Road. By the next day, June 16th, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI, issued a statewide Amber Alert. The search escalated rapidly, but almost immediately, investigators realized they were dealing with something far more complex than a child who had simply wandered off. The terrain surrounding the Wells home is brutal. It is steep, heavily wooded, and riddled with hidden dangers. If a 5-year-old girl had wandered into those woods, the elements alone would have been a severe threat. But search and rescue experts know how to track a lost child. They look for broken twigs, disturbed earth, dropped items, scent trails. In the case of Summer Wells, the canine units, dogs trained specifically to track human scent, were brought in. They picked up Summer's scent in the basement, and they tracked it to the end of the driveway. And then, the scent vanished. It didn't trail off into the woods. It stopped abruptly at the road. To seasoned investigators, a scent trail that ends at a roadway usually means one thing: the person got into a vehicle. This realization shifted the investigation from a search and rescue mission to a potential abduction case. The TBI began pleading with the public for information regarding a specific vehicle seen in the area around the time Summer disappeared. A 1998 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma, equipped with a full-bed ladder rack and white buckets in the back. The driver of this truck was never named as a suspect, but rather as a crucial witness who might have seen something. Yet, despite nationwide appeals and years of investigation,
The driver of that red Tacoma has never come forward. The truck has never been found. It remains one of the most glaring, unresolved anomalies in the entire case. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the public's attention began to turn toward the family. The Wells family history was scrutinized under the unforgiving microscope of social media. True crime sleuths unearthed past legal troubles, domestic disputes, and even the eerie fact that Candace's own sister had vanished years prior in an unrelated case. The TBI has consistently stated that everyone, including the parents, has been cooperative. But in the court of public opinion, the family was tried and convicted daily. Yet, despite the rumors and the relentless speculation, law enforcement has never named a suspect.
Years passed. The initial frenzy died down, but the Amber Alert remained active. The TBI refused to let the case go cold. In August of 2025, a significant update breathed new life into the investigation. The TBI, working in conjunction with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, released a new age progression image of Summer. The image showed what she might look like as a 9-year-old. It was a heartbreaking reminder of the time that had been stolen, but it was also a crucial tool. The TBI hoped that this new image might trigger a memory for someone who had seen her recently, perhaps living under a different name, in a different state. Then, in November 2025, the case took another sudden turn. TBI agents and Hawkins County detectives descended on a property in Greeneville, Tennessee, about 10 miles from where Summer vanished. The TBI confirmed they were following up on a specific investigative lead. They spent hours at the location, searching the property. While the authorities remained tight-lipped about exactly what they were looking for or what they found, the targeted nature of the search indicated that they were acting on credible, new information. As we sit here in 2026, the investigation is far from over. The TBI continues to actively work the case, chasing down every tip, no matter how small. The disappearance of Summer Wells is a wound that refuses to heal. It is a case defined by impossibilities, a massive search that yielded no physical evidence, a scent trail that vanished into thin air, and a mysterious red truck that slipped through the cracks of a nationwide manhunt. But behind the theories, the rumors, and the investigations, there is a little girl. A girl who loved planting flowers, who went down to her basement to play, and who deserves to be found. At the Injustice Archive, we believe that someone, somewhere, knows exactly what happened on Ben Hill Road that evening. They know who was driving that red Tacoma. They know why the scent trail ended at the driveway. We will not let this case be forgotten. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Summer Wells, contact the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND. If you want to dive deeper into the evidence, the timelines, and the unredacted details of this case, you can access our complete case file archive through the link in the description. Thank you for joining the investigation. We are the advocates for the truth, and we will see you in the next archive.